everyone. Hi, everyone. So in the Madison custom, so at this time, can I ask everyone to do something really novel? I don't like that this is attached. There we go. We're going to try something very novel. All students here, hats off, it's a public building. Hoods off, it's a public building. Now, good evening, everyone. My name is Mrs. Cohen. I'm the principal of James Madison High School. Ladies, let's stop for now. We are slowly going to begin to our Can I just ask all students for Madison who are awesome just to stop roaming around for a few moments and help people sit as they come in. So, how are you all? So, another novel ask. These. We love them, but I hate them. Take it, put it on silent, and put it away. Let's enjoy each other for a little while. Young lady in the white. Okay. See, I might be the principal of 3,700 students, but I'm still a classroom teacher. Is that your parent? Give her the phone. Because if this was our school and during the school day, we would take their phone and we would call the parent and ask them to come pick it up. We're here to learn. Come on, let's go. Oh, louder, come on. I agree. Got it attached to the watch, got it on the phone. It's annoying. I wish I didn't have to be attached to my phone. But unfortunately, we all have to face the reality. Over the past couple of years, our children, have experienced a little bit of an instructional loss. They learned during COVID, laying in their beds. Who saw that during COVID? Who saw their kids laying in their beds? Come on. All right, cameras off, right? They rolled to one side, and then they rolled to the other. What'd you learn today? Nothing. But here at Madison, we hated that. When all other schools were not opening their doors, our staff of over 200 teachers agreed to teach students in front of them and students on Zoom at the exact same time. Wow. Wow. Yes. Yes. I am so beyond excited tonight. I'm excited because the word's out there. We're growing. We're growing in amazingly great ways. I do want to apologize for you having to wait online for scanning. But I don't really want to apologize. This day and age, to be able to say we are a scanning school is actually kind of wonderful. It's kind of great to know that when you send your child to school every day, that added layer of safety exists. Yes, You can't just roll out of bed and show up to school in 2 seconds. We're going to wait a second because there's a lot of noise. Ma'am, could you please not be on the phone? Hello? Thank you. I love teaching. What? Because I can. So, tonight we're going to give you a lot of information. But there's something that I'm going to share. Can we close the back doors? Folks who are seated, could I please ask, check in. Ms. Eisenstadt, also ask them to stop playing for a minute. I apologize. A lot going on. It's all good. So, throughout the course of the next month or so, you're going to be doing a lot of school shopping, right? Visiting this school, visiting that school. I have to ask you all to do something right now. Go like this. Take your hand, take a deep breath. There is no perfect school. And any school that doesn't open their doors and show off their finest, cross them off your list, including us tonight. But we also open our doors for you during the academic day. We offer tours during the instructional day to see what it feels like to really be in this building as a student. The sign-ups are there. But I'm also going to tell you something as a mom. A mom of a student who graduated from here 3 years ago. He's now a junior in college. I am zoned for Madison High School. A mom of a senior in this building right now. High school applications. Take a deep breath. Don't stress. College applications? Oof, forget about it. Save the anxiety for then. No matter what high school you go to, in the New York City public school system, it's going to be great. I was walking around at the beginning when people were early, and a lot of students were telling me, Midwood, Madison, Murrow. All three of us are amazing. We all work together. On election day, when students are home and teachers are learning, the three schools are learning together. The departments are divided up amongst all three buildings. Don't stress. A school is perfect when you make it that way. If you choose Madison and you don't join a club or don't join a team or don't get involved in an activity that your house offers, you're going to hate it here. School is not about just going to your classes and going home. It's about what you make of it. We have a lot to offer here. And I am so proud of the amazing team that I work with. Over 200 teachers, 42 teams, 57 clubs. We have collaboratives that you'll learn all about that tonight. You're gonna walk around this building. You're gonna see what we have to offer. But I wanna give a shout out to this amazing woman here, our parent coordinator, Miss Eisenstadt. Alongside our coordinator of student activities, Miss Joan Smith. And our student ambassador advisor, Miss Simone Gobin, who really spearheaded setting up this evening. But now I want to turn the microphone over to a gentleman who I am beyond appreciative of. In many schools, you're going to hear about your AP guidance, your AP security. Not here at Madison. It's one person. And the reason why it's one person, because kids will make mistakes. They're kids. They're allowed to. But it's learning from those mistakes and providing opportunities to grow from them that make it important. We believe in discipline when discipline is warranted. We believe in guidance because that is always needed. Mr. Jason Marino, who will talk to you all about how to get your child into our amazing community. Thank you, Mr. Marino.
Thank you, Mrs. Cohen. It's such a wonderful sight to see parents and students on the balcony. I can't remember the last event that we had so many people here that we had to open the balcony. It's really great to see. Finally, we are back to a somewhat normal year in the New York City Department of Education. That means our admissions process, or that through the city, is finally back to, I wouldn't call it normal, but I would say something that is a little more understandable. However, it is quite overwhelming, especially if you are looking at many schools, because each school has different individual criteria which you need to pay attention to if your child is interested in that school. For Madison, I'm going to try my best to make it as clear to you as possible how to get into the school and then what happens once you're into the school. Now, first, I want to clear up some questions that I've heard, and that is in regards to the random lottery number that many of you see when you look at the application process. How many of you are familiar with your random lottery number? Okay. For Madison, that means nothing. For the purposes of getting into Madison, we do not consider that number. That number is not part of our admissions process. There are only two ways to get into Madison. The first is the simplest, which I will speak more about in a little bit, and that is through our zone program. The second are our two screened programs: law and medical health professions. When you walk around tonight, you are going to hear about many other programs that are absolutely wonderful and fantastic at Madison. The confusing part is you won't see them on the application process. You won't see a code for them, even though they are one of our programs. How I want you to look at the application process for Madison with the three codes that you have to choose from: the zone program and the two screen programs. Those three codes are your way to get into the school. Once you step in and once you are accepted, every door here at Madison is open for every student. Every student has the opportunity to take their electives, their AP courses, their choice of many other classes that they have once they get in. That's how you should approach coming in to Madison. How do you get in? If you apply to one of the two screen programs, the way the program is working this year, the admissions is based on the grades that your child has from 7th grade. Students are put into groups. Just looking historically at the numbers for Madison, realistically, your child would need to be in the top 15 percentile in the city or the top 15% of their school with above a 90 average in order to gain acceptance through the screen program. If they don't have that, very, very, very slim chance that an acceptance will be given. That's the only way to get in by the screen program. The other way to enter the school is, I'm going to have to mention, I know I mentioned it once before, but it is a 4-letter dirty word. I'll explain why in a second. And that is the word zone. That word has taken on a misunderstanding by many. It's taken on a meaning of its own. And that is because people think that if they get into the zone, something's wrong with that. The reason is, I don't know why that happened. People think, oh, I'm in the zone program. Well, once you're here, and this is why I began discussing, thinking about the way you apply is getting your foot in the door and getting in. That's just the way you get in. That's the way you gain acceptance. Once you're in, every single student who comes in through the zone program has to choose one of the other programs that you're going to experience tonight. There is no such thing as an academic zoned program once you're accepted. Every single student has to be placed in one of the other houses, we call them here at Madison, which you'll be walking around and seeing tonight. I hope that's clear. So, I have to just point out a couple of other things. If you want to come to Madison and you live in our zone, we ask you just to put down our zone code, K25Z.
Stand up if you're zone for Madison, please. Stand up. Stand up. Okay, 1 second. Please, 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 please. Thank you. Young man, please take the hat and hood off. Thank you, sir. Okay. I need you to hear my colleague. Look around the room. That is a small percentage of you. But the fact that parents are here with their children and they're unzoned shows that their heart is looking at opportunities for their children. When you apply, if this is your school choice, don't apply under a screen. Apply for zones. Please. Thank you.
The next question that always is asked when hearing that, parents say, I want my child to be in law. I want my child to be in medical health professions. My student has a 97 average. I want them to be in that program. If you live in the zone, you will still be placed in that program. You're only using the zone code to get into the school. And let me tell you why that's important. If you're in our zone, you're guaranteed a seat here. Our zone program does not have a cap. If you live here in our zone, no matter how many students in the area, you're entitled to come here. You will be coming here. Whereas our screen program is capped approximately at 250 kids with both programs combined. So what happens? That is the only way certain students and families are going to be able to get into Madison. If you're outside of our zone, we're only taking 250 students. The reason we ask parents who are in our zone to apply to the zone is because if a parent who is in our zone and is guaranteed a seat in our school and their child meets the academic criteria and is guaranteed to be in the law program and they put law ahead of zone, they're taking that seat away from somebody else who's outside of our zone, although they're guaranteed the same thing. That's why we ask you, if you are in our zone and you put the zone code down first and you get into Madison, we will allow you to write your own ticket. You can choose whichever house that you want, as long as you meet the academic requirements that you would have used to get into the screen program. Because we open just as many seats in our courses of study for the students who enter into the zone program. Just use the zone to get their foot in the door. Because remember, there is no zoned academic program. It is only the way to get accepted. Once you're accepted, everyone has all of the doors at Madison open for them. I know that that's going to cause a lot of people to have questions. I am going to be here in the front of the auditorium for the rest of the night. In a moment, I am going to introduce you once again to our fantastic parent coordinator, Melissa Eisenstadt, and she will walk you through where you're going to go after this. I will not leave. I will stay here to address anyone's individual questions about zoning and the application process. Sure.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to not take a mic. I'd like to ask you all a favor tonight, and it is a favor. As you're walking around visiting and doing what you're doing, say thank you to the students, because we must have about 200, if not more, here this evening volunteering their time to support you. I'd also like you to say thank you to our club advisors, our coaches, our house coordinators, and my rocks, the assistant principals. They are all here this evening. And if that doesn't evidence the collaborative community that we represent, I don't know what would. In this room right now is our assistant principal of science, Mr. Kavostos, our assistant principal of math, Ms. Moroz. Our assistant principal of organization was upstairs letting people in, Dr. Anoa. Our assistant principal of PE, art, music, Mr. Papandrea. Ms. Gambino, our assistant principal of social studies, was floating around. Everyone has ID on. That's a requirement at Madison. You don't have to wait here to ask just me and Mr. Marino. You can ask any colleague. And if we don't know the answer tonight, email us. We have problems, we respond. I shared, I'm a parent. And whenever I do something, I ask myself, what would you want someone to do for you? Now, I hand the mic over to Ms. Eisenstadt.
Hi everyone, thank you again for coming. I hope some of the words that were just shared help make this stressful process a little easier. Now that we have those logistics out of the way though, we're going to invite you to explore our building and see what being a Golden Knight is all about. So we'll have student and staff representatives from our 8 houses, over 40 PSAL teams, almost 60 clubs. And so you've received a piece of paper that has room numbers on it, and we're just letting you explore, and we want you to make the most of it. And as Mrs. Cohen said, if you have any questions, everyone here, student and staff, has ID. So you can just stop anyone, ask a question. We have student ambassadors around the building. They'll be holding signs that say student ambassador, so you can ask them anything as well. So enjoy everyone, and you can use all the doors to get out.
Just make sure the building is closing at 8:30, okay? You have to be out by then.